Hi, I am Karthik Rannan. I am the president of the Wall Street Club of BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus. Yes, so the collaboration with XLR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives while they try to navigate the world of finance. I am happy that we will be able to close this workshop successfully on a very good note.
Hi, I am Raghunendra Singh and I am the Technical Director of the Wall Street Club at BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus. It was a great amazing conducting this workshop with XLR. The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets, which was very helpful for the people who are interested in the field of finance, business or analytics in general. Thank you.
I attended a workshop conducted by CSA and ACM in collaboration with XLR. So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if XLR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
The journey was great. Initially, I thought that I was not proficient enough in Excel, but later I came to know there was no prerequisites for it, and then I applied for it, and it was a great course, and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
Good evening, myself Kavya Ganatra. I am from Computer Science Association. I was the POC for this ML workshop conducted by CSA and ACM in collaboration with XLR. The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with XLR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our technical fest Atmos, and I thank XLR for being a part of it. Thank you.
Hi, I am Karthik Rannan. I am the president of the Wall Street Club of BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus. Yes, so the collaboration with XLR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, help the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives while they try to navigate the world of finance. I am happy that we will be able to close this workshop successfully on a very good note.
Hi, I am Raghunendra Singh and I am the Technical Director of the Wall Street Club at PITS Pilani Hyderabad campus. It was a great amazing conducting this workshop with XLR. The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets, which was very helpful for the people who are interested in the field of finance, business or analytics in general. Thank you.
I attended a workshop conducted by CSA and ACM in collaboration with XLR. So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me, so I would absolutely love it if XLR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
The journey was great. Initially, I thought that I was not proficient enough in Excel, but later I came to know there was no prerequisites for it, and then I applied for it, and it was a great course, and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
Good evening, myself Kavya Ganatra. I am from Computer Science Association. I was the POC for this ML workshop conducted by CSA and ACM in collaboration with XLR. The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with XLR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our technical fest Atmos, and I thank XLR for being a part of it. Thank you.
Hi, I am Karthik Rannan. I am the president of the Wall Street Club of BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus. Yes, so the collaboration with XLR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives while they try to navigate the world of finance. I am happy that we will be able to close this workshop successfully on a very good note.
Hi, I am Raghunendra Singh and I am the technical director of the Wall Street Club at BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus. It was a great amazing conducting this workshop with XLR. The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets, which was very helpful for the people who are interested in the field of finance, business or analytics in general. Thank you.
I attended a workshop conducted by CSA and ACM in collaboration with XLR. So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me, so I would absolutely love it if XLR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
The journey was great. Initially, I thought that I was not proficient enough in Excel, but later I came to know there was no prerequisites for it, and then I applied for it, and it was a great course, and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
Good evening, myself Kavya Ganatra. I am from Computer Science Association. I was the POC for this ML workshop conducted by CSA and ACM in collaboration with XLR. The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with XLR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our technical fest Atmos, and I thank XLR for being a part of it. Thank you.
Am I audible to all of you guys? Guys, am I audible? Yes or no? Okay, great. So let me share my screen. Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for the confirmation. Let me share my screen. Is it visible to you guys? Okay, cool. So let's begin with the session, guys. Yesterday, we saw another application of NLP, and that was the text classification. And we saw this text classification using one of the text data pre-processing module or the package called neat text, right? And we understood what are the capabilities of this particular package. And then we also saw how to build a text classification model using technique called as a logistic regression. And Naïve Bayes. So under Naïve Bayes, we saw two techniques. One is a Gaussian Naïve Bayes, another one is a multinomial Naïve Bayes. So this is what we understood from the last session. So any doubt, guys? Anyone? Any questions up to the last class? Okay, great. So the idea for today's session is basically, first of all, like in the first half, we will be seeing some, a little bit more, capabilities of different packages and all. So we'll start with TextBlob again, and we'll try to see how you can do the text classification using TextBlob. So whatever we did yesterday, we can also do those things with the help of TextBlob, right? So this is one of the, a small hands-on kind of a thing is there. And then we will also explore another very useful package in NLP that is called as a flare. Flare. All right. And we'll see a couple of functionalities of the flare module. And once we finish this one, then we will move towards the a very new domain, which is booming in the market, that is a generative AI. So we will be seeing the introduction part for the generative AI. All right. So this is the agenda for today's session. And probably from tomorrow onwards, we'll be dealing with some advanced concept in the generative AI. Right. So this is the agenda for today's and upcoming sessions. Can you brief about the previous class? Hussein, okay, so in the last class, what we have did, we have, okay, so we saw one of the application of the NLP as a text classification. Text classification. How we can build a text classification model. So text classification is nothing but, let's say you are getting different documents. Documents are nothing but the like each and every individual text input, and you want to classify each and every document in one of the class. So for example, let's say like we all receive the emails, right? Some of the emails are those are the genuine mails, and some of the spams, right? So let's say you want to classify whether the email is a genuine mail or it is a spam. Ultimately, email is it's a text data, right? So whatever things you are getting over the mail, that is a text data. So it comes under a text classification only. So just classifying the email, whether the email is a genuine or spam. So technically it is called as a whether the email is a spam or ham. Ham stands for the genuine mail. All right. So like this, we saw one of the application of text classification using like one of the input data, text input data, and we saw how we can build the models. And along with that, we also saw couple of more functionalities of neat text module for the text data pre-processing part. So this is what we have done in the last class. All right. Okay. So any other questions, guys? Anyone? Let me check with YouTube guys also. Okay, cool. So let me share my screen. Okay, so let's start, guys. Let's see how you can use the text blob as a text classification alternative, right? So we already saw a couple of functionalities and capabilities of this particular module called text blob. All right. Do you guys recall what application we have used this text blob? Anyone? We saw one of the application of NLP. There we have used the text blob. Do you guys recall what was the application we saw? So that was the text blob as a sentiment analyzer. All right. Now let's see how you can use the text blob for a text classification purpose. So for that, guys, okay, so before starting, so guys, all of these codes and the data set is available over the LMS portal. All right. So I guess under the day 7, you will find the materials. And from there, you can download it and use it parallelly if you want. All right. Okay. So this is the data set what we are going to use. This is a very small data set I am taking. So just to show you how you can use a text blob for a text classification, right? So this is a very small data set, and this data set is in JSON format. It's not a CSV file. It's not an Excel file. It's a JSON data. So name of the data set is basically a data which is of a JSON type. So do you guys know what is a full form for JSON? What is the full form for JSON, guys? Anyone? Yeah, correct, Anurup. So it's a JavaScript object notation. All right. So JSON is another format. You can find the data in the JSON format also. It stands for the JavaScript object notation format. So this format looks like this. So it's kind of a key value pair kind of a thing is there. So we have a text, and what is a text? This is the first text. And for the first text, we have a category assigned or the class assigned as a software. So basically, in this data, we have a couple of text available, which is a couple of, you can say, sentence or input data is available. And then for each and every input sentence or a text, we have a category, whether it is related to software or hardware. All right. So in that way, we have two classes. Either the text will be a software, like it will be dealing with the software or hardware. So like if you see the first text, which is a my unit text failed. So this is basically related to software. This unit test is basically denoting some kind of a software testing kind of a thing. All right. If you see the third one, I need a new power supply. So power supply is something which is a hardware. right? That's why we have a class or category as a hardware. So I mean, in that way, we have this data set, and over this data set, let me just show you how you can build a text classification kind of a thing. How you can do using the TextBlob. Okay. So this is what we are just converting this JSON format into a data frame kind of a format. So this is what our data set looks like. And then as we saw yesterday, we need to divide the data. Okay, so here I'm not going to do the data pre-processing part. So this is something you guys are very much familiar about it. We have spent a lot of time over the text data pre-processing part, right? So that is something you can do it. This is just a very small sample just to show you how you can use the TextBlob as a text classification method, right? Okay, so what we are doing, we are just splitting this data set into train and test data set. And from the yesterday's class, if you guys recall, so we split our data into train and test data, right? And what we do, whatever model or technique we are going to apply, we apply over the train data, like model building. So we build the model or whatever technique we want to apply, we apply over the train data. And once my model is ready, then how I will know whether this model is performing good or not. So I will test this model over this text data. So like this is something what we have understood from the past class, right? So for that, I mean, here what we are doing, we are just just dividing this data set into train and test part in a ratio of 80:20. All right. So 80% data is present in the train data set and rest 20% data in the text data set. Since this data set is a very small, so we have a 10 records in the train data and the rest, I guess 2 or 3 records in the train data. Sorry, test data. So in the test data, we have a 3 records, right? And then this GIF function we also saw yesterday, just to associate the category with each and every text input data, right? Now, here comes the role of the text blob. So if you see here, we are importing the text blob, and from there, we are importing one of the module called classifier. Now with this module, we have a lot of functions available. So here I have just displayed the directory of this classifier module, and you can see here there are a lot of functions are there. Out of those, we have some classification techniques present, like decision tree classifier. You can see NLTK classifier, Naïve Bayes classifier. So yesterday we saw this Naïve Bayes as a classification technique, right? And along with that, we have a couple of more classifier techniques, which can classify your text in one of the category, right? So here we have a category as a software or hardware. So to illustrate you, I'm going to use the same Naïve Bayes as a classifier, right? Okay. So what we are going to do, from the classifier module, we are just taking the Naïve Bayes classifier method. So using the dot operator, this is something we already understood. And we are applying this Naïve Bayes classifier over my train data, right? So this is something we have just understood, that we split our data set into train and test. Train and test. And this is the place where we are building our model over the train data. Now this train data contains around 80 to 70% of data. I mean 70 to 80% of data in the train data set, right? And once my model is ready, then how will I test my model? We will test up this model over the text data, like how this model is performing. All right. Okay. So there is one question. If we have to train the model for the large data, yes, you can do that, Kishan. Not an issue. So here, just to show you how you can use the text blob for a classification purpose, I have just taken a small data set because we have already done this kind of exercise with other methods or approaches, right? So you can do that for the large data set also, not an issue. There is another question from Anurup. What will be Naïve Bayes classifier do? Why we are using that? Okay. So yesterday also we have discussed this part, guys. Okay, so what actually we want to do with this data set? We want to classify each and every text input. So this is one of the text input, this is another text input, another text input, like that. We have a multiple text input, and we want to classify whether this text input belongs to software or hardware. That means, let's say this is our data set, and in this data set, we are getting multiple input data, which is a text data. Let's say, from a third party, we are receiving some of the text data related to, computer system, or let's say IT, these kind of things. And we want to classify whether this each and every input belongs to a software kind of a issue or hardware kind of a issue, or like what kind of a things are there in this particular text data, whether this text data is related to software kind of things or hardware kind of a thing. For example, if you see here, if you see this particular text, I need a new power supply. So just by reading this text, you can understand that there is a requirement for a new power supply, and power supply is something which is a hardware kind of thing. It's not a software, right? But if you see here, this particular text input tried the program, but it was buggy. That means you need to debug it. So this program is something, it may be some kind of a programming or coding is there involved. And that's why it has been tagged as a software kind of a thing, right? Unit text. So unit text is nothing but it is a kind of a software testing. So that's why it is tagged as a software. If you see this drive, so it may be probably it is a hard disk drive. So that's why it is like encoded as a or categorized as a hardware. So that means based upon your text input data, we need to classify whether this text data belongs to software kind of a thing or hardware kind of a thing. So this kind of a problem statement we are calling as a text classification. We are classifying each and every text data whether the text data belongs to software kind of a issues or software kind of a thing, or a hardware kind of a issue or a hardware kind of a thing. So for that, we have a number of methods which can perform this kind of a activity. So yesterday we saw logistic regression is one of the technique that can classify the input data in one of the categories. So in our case, what are the categories? Either software or hardware. These are the two categories which we have in our data. So logistic regression is one of the technique that can perform the same task. And yesterday we saw how you can do that. Logistic regression for classification. Apart from that, we have a Naïve Bayes, another technique as a Naïve Bayes. I'm not getting into detail of these, techniques or methods, because that will be a separate domain kind of thing. So Naïve Bayes is also one kind of a classification technique or classification method, right? So these techniques will classify your text data into one of the category based upon your input data set, right? Data is of image and it's around 4 GB. Which data, Kishan? Okay, guys. So you can see here in the directory of this classifier module, we have a number of classifiers. So these are the different methods what we have, like decision tree classifier, max int classifier, NLTK classifier, Naïve Bayes classifier, positive Naïve Bayes classifier. So there are a lot of classifiers method is available. You can take anyone. So, but I'm just showing you Naïve Bayes classifier because yesterday also we saw this particular thing. So you guys familiar with at least with the name Naïve Bayes classifier. And let me tell you, like in the text classification purpose, most of the times you will find the application of a text classification using Naïve Bayes as a classifier because it performs very well over the text data, right? That's why we are choosing the Naïve Bayes as a classifier. And then like as I explained you, the thing is, first of all, you need to apply this method over the train data and then check this method over the text data. So this is how we are applying this method over the train data, and we are calling this one as a CLF. CLF is a short form of the classifier. And then we are checking the accuracy of this particular model CLF, and this is something we are calling as a model. This CLF is a naive Bayes classifier model, right? This CLF we are applying over the text data and checking the accuracy. So you can see here the accuracy of this particular model over the text data is 66.66%. 66.6% is the accuracy of this particular model over the text data. Right. Now, how you can utilize this model? So this is how we build our model and we test our model over the text data. Now, in future, if I get any of the text input, I can pass the text input to this particular model, and model will classify whether the input belongs to software or hardware. Right? Let's see how. Let's say, guys, in future, I'm getting this particular text input. Like I bought a new laptop. Let's say this is my new text input which I'm getting. And with respect to this new text input, I want to associate the class or category either software or hardware. So I will pass this text input to my model CLF, and it will classify whether this particular text input belongs to software kind of thing or hardware, right? So just by looking this text input, we can understand that there is a laptop word is present so that it belongs to the hardware, right? Let's see how model will do that. So what we need to do, under this model CLF, we have a method called as a classify. So this method will apply the this model over this text data T1. T1 is this new text data, and it will in the output it will show you the class. So the class is a hardware, right? Even you can also check what is the probability to classify this text data as a hardware. Even you can also check what is the probability that the model will classify this text data as a software. So model will provide you, the CLF model will provide you the probability that text T1 equals to software. So this probability it will provide, and then it will also provide for the same text T1 what is the probability that this text T1 will be a hardware. Right? So let's say for text T1, the probability of being software is, let's say, 10%, and probability of hardware being 90%. So for the same text T1, which one is having the highest probability? That is a hardware class, right? So in the output, you will get the category as a hardware for text T1. That means the class or the category which is having the highest probability, that is the final class or the category from the model. So this is one of the, just to explain you, I have taken this example, but you can see here what is the probability is being taken. So here you can see, yeah. So you can see here. So to classify the text T1 with the probability of hardware is having the probability 95%, right? Even more than that, 95.18%. And same for the software is having the probability of around 5%, 4.8% around. So this probability is 95 point almost 2%, and this is having 4.8% around. So this is how like this text blob is classifying the text input, and it can show you the probability also for each and every class. Since out of these two probabilities, the probability for hardware class is very much higher side compared to the software. That's why in the final outcome you can see the class as a hardware. Right? Is that clear, guys, this part? Any questions, anyone? YouTube guys? Okay. So this is one thing, guys, what I have. And then let me also discuss with you guys another very useful package when it comes to the NLP part, that is the Flare module or Flare package. All right. So just give me a minute so that I'll be ready with the things. By the way, all of these codes will be present over the LMS, right? You can download it. Okay, guys, let me share my screen. Is it visible? Right? Okay, cool. So let's see, guys. Another library for the NLP related task is Flare. So actually, this particular library is built on the top of the PyTorch. So PyTorch is like it is one of the tool which you can use for the deep learning or AI based things. So just like we have a PyTorch, we have something called as a TensorFlow, Keras. So these are the tools what we have or libraries what we have for especially for the deep learning or AI based approaches. So one of the tool we have a PyTorch, and over the PyTorch we have a library or a module called Flare. Right. So first of all, you need to install this particular module. So here is a syntax, right? So what you need to do, you need to just remove this hash sign and do the installation. Right. Since I have already installed, so I'm not going to do it again. And here I'm importing the Flare package, and this is the directory of the Flare. So you can see there are a couple of functions are available. So let's explore these functions and let's try to understand what other things are there. Okay. So let me start like this. Let's suppose, guys, I have this particular text, right? This is the sample text what I have. If you print the type of this particular, text, my text is a str for the string. It is a string kind of a variable. This my text is there. So this is something what is the string present, this particular sentence, right? Now from the flare.data module, we have a method called as a sentence. So this particular module is important when you are dealing with the Flare package, especially in the NLP. So what the Flare will do, it will convert your this string information or whatever text you have into Flare sentence format. So if you apply this method sentence over this particular variable my text, which contains this particular sentence like this, it will, okay, so I'm saving this particular output as a S1. And now if you check the this S1, this is how it will show you. So it will provide a tag as a sentence, and then this is the input sentence what we have. Now if you check the type of this S1, it will show you that S1 is a flare.data.sentence. That means now it is compatible with the Flare sentence format, right? That means now I can use this variable S1 to utilize the Flare module over this particular text data. So I mean, this is how you can convert any of the string or input text data into a Flare sentence format, right? Even you can reverse this operation from the flare sentence format, you can get back your original string. So we have a module called as or method called as a toPlain string. So I'm just applying this particular method over S1, and this is how I'm getting the outcome. So now you can see we are getting only our sentence, whatever my original sentence. While in case of a flare sentence format, we are getting this kind of a tag. Right? Is that clear, guys? This part? Okay. So once you have converted your input data, text input data into a flare sentence format like this S1, you can directly get the tokens. So we have a method called as a tokens. Just apply this method over this S1, which is a flare sentence format. And here it will show you like this. So I mean, it will provide you like token 0, token 1, token 2, token 3 like that. And what is the token? So that means index position along with the token. So in that way, you can get the tokens from the flare module, right? Apart from that, you can also, use other form of the tokenizers from the flare. So in the flare, actually, we have two methods. One is called as a sec tokenizer, and then we have something called as a white space tokenizer. So we have a two kind of a tokenization in the flare. One is a segment tokenizer or sec tokenizer, and then white space tokenizer. So what you need to do? So we are just okay. So this is my my text input data, what we have, and then we are using the sentence method just to convert it into this particular text data into a flare sentence format. And here I am using the particular argument called use underscore tokenizer. If you make this particular argument as a true, that means it will be using sec tokenizer. If you make this argument as a false, it will be using white space tokenizer. Now, what is the difference between the sec tokenizer and white space tokenizer? Let's see from the output. So whatever tokenization we are getting, we are saving into a two variable called tokenized sentence and untokenized sentence. Okay. So if you see the output of the sec tokenizer, that means this tokenized sentence dot tokens. So if you see this output, guys, here how many tokens we are getting? Can you guys tell me how many tokens we have as the output of the sec tokenizer? Anyone? How many tokens we have, guys? From 0 to 13, that means in total, we have 14 tokens. This is what we are getting from the sec tokenizer. Let's see the output of the white space tokenizer. So if you see for the white space tokenizer, we have the tokens from 0 to 11. That means in total 12 tokens. And now let's try to understand the difference. So if we are using the sec tokenizer, what it will do? It will take each and every word as a one token. Apart from that, if there is any compressed words like this didn't, it will break down it into two words and it will consider it as a two tokens. And if there is any special character like this dot, it will also treat this one as a one token. So if you see the output, just focus over this particular word didn't. So did is a one token, and t is another token. Even this dot is another token. This is what we have a segment tokenizer or sec tokenizer. But if you see the output of the white space tokenizer, it will just get the tokens based upon this white spaces. Whenever it will get the white space, it will do the tokenization. So that's why we are getting the 12 tokens in the white space tokenizer and 14 tokens from the sec tokenizer. So depending upon your application or the requirement, we can adopt any one of them. Is that clear, guys, this part? Any questions, any doubt, guys, anyone? YouTube guys, any questions, anyone? Okay, so yeah, so this is one part. Let me also show you guys one very unique property or functionality from the Flare module, and that is something called as a annotation. So you can add annotation to your input sentence or input text data. Now, what is an annotation? Annotation is something you can treat it as a tag kind of a thing. You can provide a multiple tag or annotations to your input text data. For example, let's say this is what we have as a input data. All right. So we have just converted into a sentence that is a Flare sentence compatible format. This is my input text data, what we have. And then whatever output we are getting, I'm saving into a variable called docs. And if you just print the docs, now you can see this is our input data, which is a Flare sentence format. All right. Now, over this particular input data, what you can do, you can even assign annotation or assign a tag to this particular text input data. For example, let's say I want to assign a tag name as a speech. So we have a method called add_label. So we can add a label to this particular input data as a speech, which is a tag name. So in the output, you can see after this particular sentence or whatever text input data we have a tag called as a speech. And for each and every tag, it will provide you a score. All right. So the score is basically, if I'm providing a tag as a speech, so at the backend, it will compute whatever input data you have, how much, the speech kind of a functionality is present in this particular input data. So here it is showing 1. That means this one is a completely in a speech format. All right. Even you can assign multiple labels also. So let's say I want to assign a label as a language, in which language this particular text is, and I'm assigning the language as English. So it will check whether this particular, text data is in English language or not. Accordingly, it will assign the tag with the score. All right. So I mean, this is something we are calling as applying the annotation to our text input data. Right. You can also, apply annotation as a named entity recognition. Right. So you can select any of the word from your input text data. Let's say I'm selecting a docs of 1. So if you see where we have an index 1, so the first word is having the index position 0. Second word is having the index position 1. So docs 1 is actually the word final. So over this final word, we are applying a named entity recognition as a noun. So if you see the output, so in the last what we are getting, the for final word, what is the named entity as a noun. So I mean, this kind of a tag or annotation we can provide to our text data as per the requirement. Right? You can also do part of speech tagging. Like previously also we have saw a couple of approaches how you can do that. So we have something called as a sequence tagger. And from this sequence tagger, you need to load first of all part of speech POS. And then what you need to do, you need to just apply this, POS tagger, whatever, sequence tagger you have loaded as a POS tagger, apply as a predict method over your input sentence. And make sure this sentence in a Flare sentence format. So you need to apply a sentence method over any of the text input, convert into a Flare sentence format, and over that, just use the POStagger.predict method. This POStagger is a sequence tagger, right? So in the output, you can see you will get the part of speech for your input text data like this. So this one is my input text data. And then for each and every word, we have a part of speech. Like for D is a like discriminator. Oh, sorry, it's a determiner. Skipgram is a noun. Model is a noun. So like that, we have a this kind of a part of speech tagging, right? Proposed is a verb, right? Thomas is a noun. Milkov noun. So in that way, we are getting this particular part of speech tagging. Even you can also do something called as a name entity recognition. That is, we already done with the spacey module. So, but Flare also, you can perform the same task. And the tagger is same actually, a sequence tagger load NER. NER stands for the named entity recognition. And this is how you can get the named entity. Like for zone, it's a person. London is a location, right? You can also perform the sentiment analysis with the Flare. So for that, under the Flare.models, we have something called as a text classifier. So just load this text classifier for sentiments, and then whatever input sentence we have, just apply the predict method for this classifier. It will do like, let's say we have a two sentence like the movie was good, and the second sentence is the movie was awesome. So if you see for these two sentences, the sentiment is a positive, but along with that, it will provide you the score. That means how much positive the sentiment is. So if my input is the movie was good, the sentiment is positive, and the score is 0.89. When I provide the input as the movie was awesome, here also the sentiment is a positive, but the score is 90.97, very high score. That means the second sentence is having the higher impact in terms of the positive sentiment, right? So I mean, these are the couple of exercises what you can do with the Flare module, right? Yes, Sucheta. Yes. So Sucheta, yesterday we have discussed a neat text package, right? So from there you can handle all of these abnormalities from the text data. Yes, you can do that. So any questions, guys? Anyone from this part? Abdul, no, this speech, language, or any year what we have provided as the label or annotation to our dataset, right? If you want, you can change it. Okay. Yeah. Any questions, guys? Anyone with this exercise? YouTube guys, any questions? Yes, correct, Suchita. Okay, guys. So this is one part what I need to discuss with you guys, and we have done a lot of exercise with the like hands-on with the NLP part, right? So we saw a couple of things related to text data pre-processing, then couple of applications for the text data or NLP part, like sentiment analysis, named entity recognition, text classification, right? With the different packages and methods. Okay, so this was the, you can say, basic building blocks for NLP part. So I tried to cover a lot of things in this particular NLP domain as per the time limit, right? Now let's move towards the a very new domain, guys. What we are, I'm sure you guys also listening this kind of a keyword like generative AI. All right. How many of you have heard about this term generative AI? Anyone? Okay, lot of them are there. Okay. Okay, guys. So many of you have heard about this particular term called generative AI. So can you guys tell me what is generative AI is? I mean, what kind of things are there, or what you guys understand from the term generative AI? Like ChatGPT. Okay, ChatGPT is one of the application of generative AI, right? What do you understand by the term generative AI? For example, chatbot. Okay, AI that generates some output for user. Yeah, correct, guys. Anything else? From pre-existing information. Okay. It generates video PPT. Okay. Okay. Anything else, guys? Okay, let's understand what is the generative AI. Robot type messenger. Okay. Lot of random inputs. Okay, guys. So let me share my screen. So, guys, the idea from today onwards is basically we will try to understand what is a generative AI, what are the different techniques are there or models or applications are there in the generative AI, and then ChatGPT is one of the application of generative AI. So we will try to explore the ChatGPT from hands-on perspective as well as from the uh, technology point of view, like what is the technique is behind the ChatGPT, what kind of a model is running behind the ChatGPT, or what kind of a approach is there. So all of those things we will try to understand one by one, right? So let me start with like, uh, okay. So the agenda for this particular introduction part is basically to make you understand the difference between machine learning, deep learning, and AI. Then the introduction to generative AI and its tools, right? The NLP part we have already done with that, right? And then like moving forward, probably tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I will introduce something called as a neural network part. And then we will try to explore some advanced AI techniques. That is the backend technique used in the ChatGPT. So to understand the backend technology or backend model of the ChatGPT, it's very important to have us at least some basic understanding of the neural network as well as a couple of advanced AI techniques, right? So all of these things we will be covering, in upcoming sessions, and we will try to explore the ChatGPT from hands-on also. So I mean, we'll be covering how you can utilize the ChatGPT in a multiple dimensions. Along with that, there is a very popular term called as prompt engineering. Prompt engineering. That is also we will try to understand what is the prompt engineering and what are the different methods are there and how you can apply those methods while using the ChatGPT. So all of those things will be like covered in the next sessions, right? So let me start with some basics. Is that clear, guys? Any doubt, anyone? The agenda is clear to all of you. So by the way, there are a lot of applications of the generative AI present in the market. But in this particular course, we'll be covering the ChatGPT. Okay. Okay, cool. So let's see. So this is what we have things like regarding our like institute XLR. So that is the initiative of IIT, IM, and ISB alumni, right? And we have trained like more than 1 lakh participants globally, 20,000 plus data scientists globally. Even we have a footprints across the across the globe, like USA, Malaysia, UK, and all. We are also a training partner for 150 plus corporate companies and 70 plus universities. Right. And if I talk about our popular courses in terms of the data science in XLR, so these are the two most popular courses of the data science, like diploma program in data science in a collaboration with the IBM, and postgraduate program on the data science in a collaboration with the Stanford University. So this is basic details for our institutes. Right? Okay, guys. So if I ask you, what is a data science? So what do you think, guys? What is a data science? Anyone? Field we deal with the data. Yeah, very generic answer. Yes, correct. Study of data and its application. Okay, study of data to drive meaningful from it. Yes, Saswata Puri. Yes, correct. If I'm like, okay, okay. Anything else, guys? What is the data science? Okay, cool. So let me tell you what is the data science. So actually, data science is nothing but to extract the hidden information or insights from the data through statistical analysis or computation, or using some form of the visualization that help the organization to take the right business decisions. Means what? So that means data science is nothing but, guys, with the help of our input data, whatever input data we have, from this input data, now when I say the input data, it can be a numerical data or it can be a text data, right? It can be in any form. It can be images, it can be videos, it can be a text data, it can be a numerical data. Whatever data we have, from this data, we will try to extract the hidden information or insights. That means the behavior of this data. That is something we are calling as a hidden information or insights. Hidden information or insights. And how we get the hidden information or insights from our input data? So for that, we'll be using some kind of a statistical methods or computation or some kind of a visualization. So these kind of things are involved to get the insights or hidden information from our data. Now, once we get these insights, then what will we do with these insights? So these insights we will be sharing with our client, right? That means with our business partner, so that the organization can take a right business decision based upon these insights. So this whole term, like this whole study, we are calling as a new field as a data science. Is that clear, guys? What about YouTube, guys? Yes, correct. Cool. So this is what we are calling as a data science, right? Now, if I ask you, like, why the data science professionals are in very much in demand nowadays? So the answer is basically answer is basically the data is increasing exponentially across the globe. The data is increasing exponentially across the globe. So to handle very large amount of data, we need some professionals who can handle this large amount of data and get the correct insights, right? So here we have some numbers. So you can see that even more than, okay, so this is something what we have numbers, like how much data is generated every minute across the globe from different platforms, right? So you can see here, more than 30 lakhs video or voice calls are made by the people across the globe in every minute, right? Over the Netflix, 4 lakh plus hours of video is streamed over the Netflix every minute. 4 crore plus messages shared over the WhatsApp every minute across the globe, right? Over the Instagram, 3 lakh plus stories are posted every minute across the globe. So this is something what we have every minute data. So you can like get an idea how much data is generated every hour, every day, and every month and every year. So if that much amount of data is generating across the globe year on year, so to handle this much of data and getting the correct insights about the users, we need the professionals who can do this thing in a correct manner, right? That's why there is a very huge demand of the data science professionals, right? So this is again, we have a couple of numbers from different like social media platforms, how much data is being generated. Again, we have this particular report, and this report is basically published by the World Economic Forum in 2023. That means this year only. And according to this report, what they have done, they have listed down 10 fastest growing jobs and 10 fastest declining jobs. So this is the report by World Economic Forum. And if you just see the 10 fastest growing job list, so the first one is a AI and machine learning specialist. If you see the third one, business intelligence analyst. If you see the sixth one, data analyst and data scientist. If you see the 10th one, digital transformation specialists. So all of these jobs are related to data science domain only, right? So out of 10, 4 jobs are from the data science domain directly. So you can think that in upcoming years, how much is the demand for a data science professionals? And this report is by the World Economic Forum, right? So that's why this particular field is in very demand. Okay. So this is a little bit introduction of the data science part. And then if I talk about the application of the data science, so there are, I mean, almost in all the domains, you can find the application of the data science nowadays. But these are, a couple of more specific, or you can say most usable domains where we can find the application of the data science, like in the travel industry, to get the dynamic pricing prediction, the flight delay, right? We have application of the data science in the healthcare domain, like disease prediction, medication effectiveness prediction. So in that case, like we have a application of the data science. In the terms of the sales, like demand forecasting, how much discount to be offered. So all of these things, we get the prediction from the data science domain. In the credit and insurance domain, there is a lot of application of the data science part, like claims prediction, fraud or risk detection, churn detection, like that, churn like prediction. Those kinds of things are there. In case of automation industry, like self-driving cars, pilotless aircraft, drones, there are a lot of application of the data science. In the social media, that means, so social media mainly deals with the text data actually. So like digital marketing, sentiment analysis. So these are the couple of applications we have listed down here. Apart from that, we have a lot of other applications. right? So in almost all the sectors, you can find the application of data science, right? We can create a paper on sentiment analysis in particular application of news. Yes, Cheta, you can do that. Okay. So like these are the, applications of the data science in a different sectors. And if I talk about, some other applications like recommendation system. So guys, what is a recommendation system? Anyone? What is a recommendation system? Do you guys know? Suitable based system. No, Sucheta, it's not like that. Exactly, Viprajit. Correct. So actually, recommendation system is nothing but uh, let's suppose you have searched some of the products in Amazon. Let's say you have searched for laptop, right? Or you have purchased a laptop or any of the IT instrument from the Amazon. Next time when you log in to Amazon, you will find some recommended products related to the IT or hardware products. It may be mouse, it may be earphone, or it may be any other hardware product related to your last purchase or your last behavior. So based upon the user's past behavior, it will recommend the similar products to the user. That is something called as a recommendation system, right? So for example, if you search for a particular mouse in any of the e-commerce platform, below that you can see lot of recommended products either from the same company or from other companies, right? This is what you are getting as a recommendation based upon your current behavior. So that is something called as a recommendation system, right? So same thing happens over the Netflix also. If you watch any of the movie, right? So based upon what kind of a movie you have watched, accordingly you will get, next time when you log in, you will get same kind of a recommendations. Yes, Abdul, exactly. So depending upon your browsing, purchasing behavior, it will provide you the similar items. So that is what we are calling as a based upon the user's past behavior. So that behavior, it may be, simple browsing. It may be, uh, buying or purchasing any of the item. So based upon the user's behavior, it will understand what is the, what are the similar products based upon that. And it will directly recommend those products. Right? Yes. Which filter, Sucheta? Okay. Another application of the data science in the NLP domain is a sentiment analysis. This is what we already saw. Like just to, uh, getting the emotion or sentiment of the user or customer, whether the customer is having positive sentiment or positive emotion, neutral emotion, or negative emotion. That is something we are calling as a sentiment analysis. All right. Okay. So for the timing, let's skip these two things. I will come back to this part. But before that, let's see this one. Okay, guys. So can you guys tell me what is the artificial intelligence? I'm sure all of you guys have heard about definitely this particular term AI or artificial intelligence. Now, can you guys tell me what is an AI? Like what we do in AI? What is artificial intelligence? What you guys understand for this particular term? What about YouTube guys? Let me also check with that. Guys, attendance link will be there by 8:30, right? So the attendance link will be open from 8:30 to 9. Okay. We search something specific and get the responses pre-built information. No, Sucheta. Artificial and intelligence which work on certain patterns. Okay, Hushan. Yes. Which thinks like human. Yes, Vidya. Correct. Which thinks like human. Even Hussein, you are also correct. Which works on a certain pattern. Exactly. Machine which mimic the human behavior. Exactly, Srinidhi. Correct. Yes. Yes, Sasuta. Correct. So this is okay. So let me share my screen, guys. Just a minute. Okay. So let's try to understand, guys, what is an AI, what is machine learning, and what is the deep learning, and where these three things stands, like in terms of the in the data science, probably. So let's see. So yeah, most of you guys are correct. So artificial intelligence is nothing but, guys, it is a technique which enables the machines. So machines are nothing but our systems, right? So it is a technique through which we can enable the machines, so that we can enable the machine so capable that they can behave just like a human. That means they can mimic just like a human. How we as a human can think and respond to a particular situation, accordingly, in the same manner, the machines can process the information. So to make the machines or the system so capable that they can behave just like a human, that is something we are calling as a artificial intelligence or AI. Right? Now this AI is a big umbrella term. You can see this dark blue circle. This is what we have a AI. Within the AI, that means to accomplish this particular task, we have a couple of approaches is there. So one of the approaches, basically, we have a machine learning based techniques or approach, and then we have a deep learning based techniques or approach. Deep learning is actually, it is a like subset of the machine learning only. And this both machine learning and deep learning, they are the subset of the AI. Right? Now, what is the difference between the machine learning and deep learning, basically? So under the machine learning and deep learning, we have a couple of approaches or techniques or models that can fulfill this particular requirement of AI. So the ultimate goal of these models or technique is basically to make our machines capable enough so that they can behave just like a human. But the difference is, whatever techniques we have in the machine learning, so whatever techniques we have in the machine learning, they are using something called as a statistical methods to perform this particular task. So machine learning based models or techniques are based upon some statistical approaches, right? While in case of a deep learning, so the techniques or the models what we have in the deep learning, these techniques or models are based upon something called as a neural network. And based upon the neural network, they can perform the similar tasks, like they can enable the machines so that machine can behave just like a human. So the major difference is, machine learning based techniques, they are using statistical methods. Deep learning based techniques are using neural networks. Right? So if I talk about which one is a more powerful, so definitely neural network part, like this kind of a architecture is very powerful when it comes to the real-time case. Right? And here we have listed down a couple of okay, that is not there actually. Okay, not an issue. So I mean, this is the major difference between machine learning and deep learning. Is that clear, guys? this part? Okay, cool. So if you guys understood these three terms and how these terms like stands, like we have artificial intelligence, which is a big umbrella term. Within that, ML and DL are the subset of the AI only. Right? Now let's focus on the artificial intelligence part. So in the artificial intelligence, actually, we have a three subcategories based upon its application, and that is something we are calling as a. So we have a something called as a narrow AI, strong AI, and super AI. Right? So these are the three subcategories of the AI as a narrow AI, strong AI, and super AI. So let's try to understand. So these are the categories what we have based upon the application of the artificial intelligence. Right? So let's try to understand what are these categories are there. Okay. So if you see here, this narrow AI is also called as a weak AI. Narrow AI or weak AI. It refers to AI systems that are highly specialized and designed to excel in a specific well-defined task or a limited set of tasks. That means the applications of the artificial intelligence or AI, which can perform limited set of tasks only, or which can perform a particular task. Beyond that, they cannot perform anymore. So this kind of a application we are calling as a narrow AI or weak AI. For example, all of you guys have heard about something called as Alexa from Amazon, right? Alexa can only understand the voice signal, and accordingly it will process the information and it will perform the task. But if you provide any other input to Alexa, probably it won't understand. So that means Alexa is something, one of the AI-based application which can be used for a speech recognition only, right? Similar to that, we have a couple of image recognition application like Google's photo image recognition feature. So that is also based upon the AI, and it is one of the narrow AI application that can only process the images, right? So in short, narrow AI or the weak AI, this is something, the application of AI that lack the general intelligence. You can't generalize this kind of applications. They can only perform a particular task, or they can design to excel in a specific or well-defined task. They cannot perform the task outside of their narrow domain. That's why we are calling it as a narrow AI or weak AI. Is that correct, guys? Clear to everyone? Okay. So you can also see some characteristics of this narrow AI or weak AI applications. Like, these are very much specialized, since they are built to perform a specific set of tasks. So they are very much specialized, and since they are very much specialized to perform a only particular task, they are heavily data driven, right? They lack in a generalization. You can't generalize these kind of applications because they are built only for a specific task. And since they are only built for a specific task, they can provide a real-time processing. So these are a couple of characteristics of the narrow AI-based application or weak AI-based application. And here we have a couple of examples for the narrow AI applications. Like, we already saw this Alexa from Amazon. Google Assistant is one of the application. Apple Siri is one of the application. Google's Photo, Microsoft Face ID, speech to text application, right? Even recommendation system used by the Netflix or Amazon product recommendation system or Spotify playlist recommendation system. So these are also, application of the narrow AI or a weak AI, right? I mean, if you take the example of this recommendation system, like Netflix as a recommendation system, they can only recommend the similar items. Apart from that, they can't perform any other task, right? So likewise, we have this narrow AI or a weak AI. Then, some Facebook Messenger chatbots like that. So like email filtering, spam detection, Google Translate, like that. So these are a couple of applications of the narrow AI or weak AI. Then we have something called as a general AI or strong AI. The second, category of the AI, which is called as a general AI or strong AI. Right? Now, as its name suggests that these are the generalized application of the AI. So unlike the narrow AI, which is specialized and task focused, strong AI aims to replicate the human level cognitive ability because these are the general applications. So these are the applications which tries to replicate the human level cognitive ability. Just like a human, how human can think, how human can process the information, and how human can respond to a particular situation. So these kind of abilities they can try to replicate the strong AI applications. So since these are the generalized application of AI, they are very versatile in nature. They can perform the variety of tasks and adapt to a new challenges. Even they learn and adopt from the past information, just like a human. We as a human, we can learn from our past experiences, and from those experiences, whatever learnings we have, we apply to the, you know, uh, our current situation. So just like that, these applications are also learning from the past data. Whatever learning is there, they can apply those learning to future context. They can also understand the context just like a human. So understanding and interpreting the context just like a human manner. They have a consciousness, that means self-awareness. So these are the characteristics are there with the strong AI based applications. Right? These are also called as the general AI. So here we have a couple of examples like, so from the IBM, we have something called as the IBM Watson, which is useful in the healthcare, finance, and NLP domains. Even whatever ChatGPT we have, that is something we calling as a general AI or a strong AI. So GPT stands for, guys, generative pre-trained transformer, right? Generative pre-trained transformer. That is the strong AI application. Even Google's DeepMind AlphaGo, it is one of the like gaming based applications what we have. So this is also a general AI or strong AI application, right? Even Tesla's autopilot, autonomous vehicles. So this is also a general AI or a strong AI application. Watson's dynamic Atlas robot, that is for the robotics as well as the computer vision task. So I mean, these are the couple of strong AI applications. Right? Understood, guys? So if I just explain you how this Tesla autopilot is a general AI application. So this particular system employs advanced AI algorithms for semi-autonomous driving. While it falls short of the AGI, it demonstrates machine learning capabilities for real-time navigation. So what are the why we are calling this one as the general AI application? Because this Tesla autopilot, it will provide you real-time navigation. Along with that, the object detection, it will see what are the different objects are in front of this particular car or vehicle, whatever we have, and accordingly it will take the decision whether to stop or whether to speed up or whether to take a right or left, like that. So we have a lot of functionalities with these kind of applications. That's why we are calling this one as a general AI applications or the strong AI applications. Clear, guys? Any questions, anyone? YouTube guys? Karan, I will explain what is a neural network. So we'll be, we will be dealing this particular part in a detailed manner. Not today, but in coming sessions, right? So don't worry about it. Okay. Uh, Ranvijay, it's not generate something. So general AI is something, but which can be used for general purpose. That means they can be used for, a variety of tasks. So if you see these narrow AI applications, these are only built for a particular task. Beyond that, they can't perform. But this general AI or strong AI applications, they can perform variety of tasks, right? So if you have a questions related to getting a certificate and all, so after the session, you can ask your query to Chandana. Chandana is there, right? So after the session, she'll be very happy to resolve your queries, right? Isa, all of the recordings are present in the LMS portal. If you have access to LMS portal, so you can get all of the course material along with that recordings, right? Don't worry about attendance, guys. You'll be getting the attendance in a while. Yes, Karan. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Anyone? Okay, so if you don't have any question, let me share my screen. So this is what we have. I'm sure my screen is visible, right? Uh, Mumtaz, it's not a alumnus portal. It's a LMS portal, Learning Management System. Okay. Okay, cool. So we saw what is a narrow AI or weak AI. What is a general AI or a strong AI? Let's see the third one. What is a super AI? So this is how, we have a super AI. It is also called as a super intelligent AI, right? And let me tell you, as of now, this particular thing is a theoretical concept. That means, as of now, we don't have any of the, uh, you know, it doesn't have any of the application in the market. This particular super intelligent AI. So first, understand what is a super intelligent AI. So it refers to a advanced form of the AI that surpass the human intelligence across all the domains and exhibits capability beyond the comprehension of human mind. That means these are the applications of AI which can, you know, uh, think beyond the human mind. So if you recall the general AI or a strong AI, they are trying to do the things just like a human. But super AI is a thing, or these are the applications of AI which can go beyond the human mind. They can surpass the most brilliant human minds. And as of now, it doesn't have any of the application in the market. But yeah, researchers are working over this kind of a domain also. So I mean, in that way, we have this narrow AI, super AI, and strong AI. Guys, attendance link is there in the chat box. Mumtaz, it's a LMS portal. So when you have registered for this particular course, I'm sure you got the access for a LMS, right? If not, after the session, you can connect with the Chandana. She can help you. Okay. So in that way, guys, we have this, the types of AI. which is segregated as a narrow AI or weak AI, then strong AI or general AI, and then super AI or super intelligent AI. Right? Okay, so these are some characteristics of super AI. Now, apart from that, guys, when it comes to the artificial intelligence or deep learning based approach, so whatever models or techniques we have in the AI, those are actually based upon some deep learning based approaches. And when it comes to the deep learning based AI approaches, so there we have two kinds of models or techniques. So we have something called as a discriminative models, and the second one is something generative models or a generative techniques. So it's better to call it the generative models. So we have these two kinds of models when it comes to the deep learning or AI based approach. So let's understand the difference between these two terms. Like, what are the generative models? What are the what are the discriminative models, and what are the generative models? Right? Okay. So guys, discriminative models are nothing but these are the family of models that do not generate new data point but learn from the model boundaries around the classes in a data set instead. What does that mean? So it means discriminative models. These are the set of models or the techniques that can learn from the input data, and accordingly it will generate the outcome, but they do not generate any new data point. For example, we have saw the text classification model, right? Text classification. So what we are doing in the text classification, we have the input data where we have a number of text data as an input, different documents, and even we have a class assigned to each and every document. So just take the today's example. So for each and every text data, we have a whether the text data belongs to software or hardware, right? And what this text classification method is doing in the output, it will just do the classification. Like, if you provide any new input data, it will just tell you whether this data is a software kind of a category, or it is having a hardware kind of a category. It will not generate any new data. It will just categorize the data based upon these existing categories, right? This is the meaning of these kind of a model do not generate any new data. They can only learn from the input data, and accordingly that they can predict the or classify the outcome. Is that clear, guys? This one? Any doubt, anyone? YouTube guys? Okay. And then we have something called as a second set of models or techniques, that is something called as a generative models. So what the generative models will do, these are the family of models or the techniques that create a new data points in the output, right? So let's say we have this generative model. Any of the generative model, we have let's say generative model. If you provide an input data, so in the output they can generate a new data. Based upon your input data, they can generate new data. For example, let's say the chatbot. I'm sure all of you guys know what is a chatbot, right? So what we do in the chatbot, we have a input section where we type our queries, right? So if you type our queries like, and we provide this query as an input to our chatbot. So based upon your input query, it will generate some response, right? So how it will be generating the response based upon your input query. This is one kind of a generative model. It is one kind of application of generative model where we are providing an input data. Based upon that, it is generating some response. Right? ChatGPT is one of the application of generative models. ChatGPT is one of the application of generative models. So guys, what is a ChatGPT? Anyone? What is a ChatGPT? Can you guys tell me what is a ChatGPT? Yeah, it's a generative model. What it does? What ChatGPT does, guys? Real-time solution. Okay. It is a transformer model. Okay. Predict the next word in the solution. Okay. Creates a new model. No, it doesn't create any new model. Real-time solution. Okay. Same like a Google search engine, but it won't provide images or videos. Yes, Vidya. Yes. So actually, what ChatGPT will do, it will take your input data, which is a text data, and based upon your input query, which is a text data, it will generate the output response, which is also a text data. So it is generating the response based upon the user's input. So it is one of the application of the generative model. Yes, it generates a response based upon the human language. Yeah, you can say that. Yes, right. So like this is how we have these two set of models or techniques in the deep learning or AI. And then we are just focusing over this generative models, which is, like we have a very new field in this AI called a generative AI, which is using at the back end something called as the generative models. But when it comes to the generative model, guys, there are a lot of tools and techniques are there or applications are there for the generative models, right? So let's try to understand that part also. So here I have listed down, like the difference between the generative and discriminative models. Okay. So before that, let's see. This is one of the report we have, and it shows that what is the market trend for generative AI segment in upcoming years. So like we are in a 2023, right? So up to 2032, almost in the next 10 years, how much will be the impact of generative AI over the market globally? So you can see that how exponentially the application and utility of this generative AI kind of thing will be in the market across the globe. And it has been forecasted that the market will grow for the generative AI at cumulative average growth rate of 31.4%. This is something forecasted. So only for a generative AI part, more than 30% market will grow in upcoming years. Right? So that means there are a lot of applications are, building using the generative AI based applications. And near future, you guys will be seeing a couple of more advanced applications of generative AI. Right? Guys, attendance link is there. Please check your chat box. Okay. So if I talk about what are the different generative AI based models or applications or tools are there. So this is the list of different generative AI based models or tools. So there, by the way, there are a lot of applications are there. So we have something called as a GAN networks, generative adversarial network, which is in short called as a GAN networks. We have something called as a large language models, right? large language models. Your ChatGPT is an example of large language model. ChatGPT is an example of large language model only. So today I'm not going to the details of this one. Tomorrow I'll be covering the details. The reason being, it will take a lot of times, to cover these details. So for the timing, let's see the terms only. Then we have something called the prompt learning or prompt engineering. We have something called the diffusion probabilistic models, which is again a generative AI based, models are there, techniques is there. Reinforcement learning from human feedback, in short called as a RLHF. We have something called as a very important sequence to sequence models. That is very important application of the generative AI. Apart from that, we have something called as a transformers as a generative AI model, variational autoencoder. ChatGPT, as I told you, ChatGPT is one of the generative AI application. Especially, it is a large language model. We have a DALI, we have a Lambda, and so on. So this is not the end of the list. So here I have just put couple of very famous application of the generative AI. But apart from that, we have a lot of other applications. And in upcoming future, you'll be seeing more and more applications of the generative AI in the market. Rohit attendance is there in the chat box. Please check the chat box. All right. So these are the different tools we use when it comes to the generative AI part. So like scikit-learn is there, Anaconda, Jupyter Notebook we are using, Matplotlib, Seaborn for the visualization, Pandas, SciPy, and all. And then we have a couple of advanced tools like TensorFlow, Keras, all right. And then some big data tools like Hadoop and Spark, some cloud-based service like AWS, Microsoft Azure, Databricks, and all. Visualization tool like Power BI, Tableau, SQL query kind of thing is there. So a lot of tools are there which is useful while dealing with this kind of applications. All right. So so this is what, guys, I need to discuss with you. Tomorrow I'll be sharing little bit more details regarding these applications. Along with that, I will like start with the hands-on with the ChatGPT part. So how to get the things done, that is something we'll be seeing in tomorrow's session. Right. According to you, which give a perfect machine learning model? Kishan, I didn't understand your question. Like in what scenario you are asking? Which machine learning model? Guys, attendance link is there in the chat box. Please mark your attendance. Which will write code more accurate? Kishan, you can write the accurate code with machine learning and deep learning with both of the techniques, right? But it totally depends upon what kind of data you are dealing with. So if your data is, too complex, so generally we go with the deep learning based technique. Otherwise, if the data is simple, you can go with the machine learning based techniques. Sucheta, this Zoom application is something different from generative AI. Right? This is something we have a particular software. So Kishan, if you are using a image based data, so probably you have to go with the deep learning based approach. Which program is used for developing the AI? So we are dealing with the Python only, right? Okay, guys. Any other questions, guys? Anyone? No, Gaurav Sharma. Bitcoin is not a part of this course, right? Any other questions, guys? Anyone? Okay, so if you don't have any question for me, over to Chandana. So if you have any question related to LMS or certification or study material and all, you can ask your question to Chandana. Over to Chandana.
Yeah, Vikas, thank you. Guys, hope you enjoy the session. Is there any queries? Please let me know in the chat box. And I'm sharing the attendance link. Please mark your attendance. Mumtaz, please drop an email to edl@xlr.com so my team will help you. Krishnamurthy is asking, ma'am, will get certificate? Yeah, you will get certificate, but 60% attendance is mandatory for that, okay? Yeah, I'm sharing the email ID in the chat box. Please take from the chat box, okay? edl@xlr.com. Again, I'm telling that. Gaurav, after this program, within 7 working days, you will get participation certificate via your emails, okay? Yeah, Sumanta, tell me, what's your question? So from YouTube, Eagle is asking, can you please share me the LMS registration link? So please drop an email to edl@xlr.com so my team will connect with you and help. They will help according that. Sumanta, have any placement after this training? No, this is a free EDL program, so you will get participation certificate for this program. That's it. There is no internship placements and all. Sarika, till what date workshop will be continued? This is a 15 days program, Sarika. Power is asking, ma'am, what is the LMS portal? Please drop an email to edl@xlr.com. It's a learning management system, so you will get all the recordings and attendance link materials from the LMS, okay? Sumanta is asking, it is useful for applying MNC company jobs outside. Yeah, you can add this certificate in your resume, so it will give weight for your resume. Yes, guys, you can add your this certificate to your resume. Definitely, you can. After this program, within 7 days, you will get certificate through your emails. But one more thing, 60% attendance is mandatory for that. Okay, without attendance, we can't able to give. Akshaya, any other sessions are going to be started after this? Yeah, we will inform soon, okay? Sakshi, you can't able to check your attendance. Sarika, yeah, you can mark your attendance 2 times also, it is okay, no issues. Durga is asking, any exam will conduct a completing course after completing course? Yeah, like we have a surprise assessment. So that will be surprise, right? In the session we will conduct, okay? Tejas, no, like you have to mark your attendance daily in one email, okay? Or else you can't get attendance. You can't get attendance and as well, you can't get certificate as well. Okay, it will affect on your certificate. Yeah, Pawan. Without exam also, you will get participation certificate. Sumanta, we will inform, okay? About surprise test. Rajashri, only one assessment we are conducting. Yeah, Sharavana. If you don't have any doubts, you can leave. Durga, that will be the surprise test, right? So we can't reveal that. Lakshmi, please drop an email to edel@excelor.com. So my team will clear your query. Yeah, Sridharan. You can add the certificate in your CV. Sujit, it is surprise test, right? We can conduct at any time. In the middle or last day before the days. Okay, guys, is there any queries? Okay, I hope there is no more questions. So, Sumanta, actually, it's a MCQ questions. And further, I will inform full details, okay? Okay, thank you. Yeah, we done for the day and we will wind up the session now. I hope there is no more questions. We'll wind up the session now. Yeah, we'll meet on tomorrow. Up to then, take care. Bye bye. Have a good night.